Shout out to my nigga Pharaoh. I came with the yeah. The hip-hop police, they been after me, cause I'm preaching self-love and self-mastery. Yes, I am. I came to talk about the God in you. Goddess and God's how we gotta move. For sure. When we was the slaves, what the Bible do? Confuse us, no, you can't be high as us. Take away knowledge, it's easy to hide the proof. Fucked up. So much power inside of you. That's right.
I'm sorry about that, family. So if you tap it 10 times, or 10,000 times, 100,000 times, 1,000,000 times in a second, right? Those are basically hertz. A terahertz, if you hit it, if I'm not mistaken, 1,000,000 times. It's either 1,000,000 times or 100,000 times in 1 second. Can't remember off the top of my head, to be honest. But it's a lot of times you're hitting the wall in one second, yes? And as you can see, down here at the bottom, you have the violet, which is 400 nanometers. Then you have it going wider and wider and wider, so that you can have a better understanding of what a nanometer is. Yes. Next slide. Vibration spectrum of part 4. Now, you see all these frequencies? All these frequencies are where either a positive thing is happening or a negative thing is happening. The genius brain frequency is from 80 to 82 megahertz. Yes. Brain frequency range of 70 to 92. I'm sorry. Your brain frequency is ranging from 72 to 90 megahertz. The normal brain frequency is 72 megahertz. And megahertz is a kilo and then giga and then mega. No, a kilo, mega, then giga. I think it's 10,000. You don't quote me on that, so you're gonna have to Google that one. I came out all the top of my head, even though I'm an electrical engineer. Anyway, the human body is between 62 and 78 megahertz. Yes. Now let's go down to the disease body. Colds and flus start at 57 to 60 megahertz. Meaning, when you start to feel sick, you're vibrating low. You're vibrating between 57 and 60, or even lower than that. Yes. And so it's important for you to understand that. Remember how I said thoughts affect the physiological functions of your body. And this is proof, right? Because it really does. So because colds and flus start from 57 to 60 megahertz. So that means if you change your thoughts, more positive thoughts, you can actually become better. You can actually become less sick. Meaning, for those who are always thinking about COVID during this time, you're going to start vibrating low, which means you'll probably actually contract the virus because your body is going to be vibrating so low to where you probably will contract the virus. And this is science. This is not just me talking off the top of my head. I'm proving this to you. Yes. So disease starts at 58 megahertz. Candida overgrowth starts at 55. Cancer starts at 42, and then death begins at 25 megahertz. A lot of people are vibrating this low. A lot of people are walking around vibrating this low, and they're wondering why they're not feeling any better. It's because you're vibrating so low. And the main reason you're vibrating low, well, a couple of reasons. One is because you're not eating good. Another reason is because your thoughts are always negative. So, of course, you're going to be vibrating low. Yes, and remember, through the science of biofeedback, your thoughts actually have an influence on your vibrational, on the vibrational state of your physical vessel, right? Now let's go over here to foods. Fresh foods vibrate between 20 to 27 hertz. Fresh herbs, 20 to 27. Dried foods, 15 to 22. Dried herbs, 15 to 22. Processed or canned foods have 0 hertz, meaning if you're eating your chips, if you're eating these canned foods, it is not helping you. It's actually hurting you. I mean, we already know this, but here's the science to back it up. Here's the vibrational science. Remember, if you have melanin, this goes even double for you because your body is doubly absorbing or triply or quadruply, quintessentially absorbing all the vibrations around you. Now, as you can see that over here where it says, where is it? The human body is between 62 to 78 megahertz, and it says fresh foods is from 20 to 27 hertz. So in order, say you are at the disease state at 58 megahertz, right? In order for you to go from 58 to 62 megahertz, right? That's what, 4 megahertz. But fresh foods are only 20 to 27 hertz. Well, this is why they say it takes longer for you to get better when you start eating fresh foods. But when you do, it's more potent, it's more there more often, right? Because it takes a long time. Because in order for you to get 27 megahertz, you're gonna have to eat a lot of fresh foods. You're gonna have to eat a lot of it, like not just little, because it's only 20 to 27 hertz. In order for you to get to megahertz, you're gonna have to eat like 1,000 to 10,000 times that amount, and then multiply that times 4. So it might take you 3, 4, 5, 6 months, a year, 2 years. It might take you that long because of the vibration of the food. But it took you, what, 20 years to get to 58 megahertz in the first place. So, of course, it's going to take you 2 years to get up. And this is the science that explains this to you. Now let's read this. According to Dr. Valerie Hunt, each toxic substance distorts the negative equilibrium that exists in the cellular level. Toxins depolarize the cell, which then becomes south polarized and ends up losing its ability to attract magnetic energy, which means the toxins that you eat, the candy, the sugar, the chips, the processed stuff, all that stuff, is having an effect on your cells, and you're not able to attract magnetic energy. You're not able to become electric anymore. And like Dr. Sebi said, iron is electric. Your body needs to be electric in order to live. Your body, all matter is made of atoms, and all atoms have electrons in them. And the main way new chemical formulas are made is when electrons in the outer valence shells of an atom, I guess you could say, mesh with another atom outer shell with the electron, and then they combine like that, right? And so the ability for your body to be magnetic, to actually carry electricity, is extremely important, especially for your neurological body, because system, because your neurological system is literally electricity. Like that's what it is. So that being said, next slide. Chakra diet, part 1. Now, family, remember we already said that each color has a certain vibration, right? And a certain nanometer spectrum. It's important for us to remember that as I'm talking about this, yes? Now, the definition of chakras. Chakra means wheel and refers to energy points in your body. They are thought to be spinning discs of energy that should stay open and aligned, as they correspond to bundles of nerves, electricity, major organs, and areas of our energetic body that affect our emotional and physical well-being. So I had someone before ask me if chakras is a religion. I was like, no, it's not a religion. It's what it is. It's there are points on your body that are basically like stores of important information that if disturbed can cause a shift in the physical, physiological, neurological, and biological processes of the body, right? So it's important for you to really understand that and not think that this is a religion, that this is spookism, because it's not. This is science, as I just described to it earlier. Now, what do each of them do, right? So the root chakra is energy center of physical safety, strength, and vitality, and survival needs. So like, whenever you're about to get in a fight, or whenever you're hungry and you look, but like really, really hungry and you're searching for food, you're in your root chakra, right? Or when you're having sex, you're in your root chakra. Well, I like to. The root, the sex is like between the root and the sacral, and I'm about to get into that in a second. So the sacral, energy center of your emotions. Here is generated likes, dislikes, sensuality, attraction, and social connection. So like, if you have a problem with being around people, then you have something wrong with the sacral chakra. If you have a problem with, sexual issues, and it's the sacral chakra. The root chakra is not actually like your groin. It's like the gooch area, which is between your anus and your genitals. All right, the little thing that looks like it's stitched together, which is weird. That might be a little too much TMI, but we're all adults here. So the solar plexus houses your sense of self, individuality, integrity, willpower, and productivity. The heart chakra, which is the most important chakra because your heart is actually controlling your brain, not the other way around. Right? And I'm not talking about that in this slide. I mean, in this presentation, you can actually go to attend University, Pharaoh, attend University to get that information because that's a whole different type of lecture. So, your heart is the central chakra, connects the lower three and upper three, source of love for self, universe, and others, forgiveness and compassion. A lot of people's heart chakra, including my own, I had to learn to open it, and I've had help with opening it, are closed, which is the reason why you'll walk past someone and you'll look at them smile, and when they look at you, they give you this energy of disgust, or like, it's like, don't talk to me, like, who are you, like, you know what I mean? Because the heart chakra is closed. But it's understandable why the heart chakra is closed, because remember, DNA stores trauma, and so like all through slavery, which wasn't 500 years, it was 1,500 years, we've been beaten and tortured and raped and killed and pillaged and colonized and a whole bunch of other stuff. And so like all that trauma has been passed down. So you may be walking down the street having a bad day, not knowing why you're having a bad day, but it's because you're having trauma effects from something that you experienced in 1,000 years ago. You know what I mean? So we had to know this science, family. So anyway, the throat chakra, your source of communication, creative expression, a key channel for your heart. Yes, your third eye, source of insight, psychic information, imagination, crown, connection to the universe, connection, divine guidance. Yes. Next slide. Chakra diet, part 2. Now, we all know that fruits and vegetables have different colors. You have your reds, your orange, your greens, your purples, right? Your yellows, your blah, blah, blah. And now, remember that we said that colors have different frequencies, or vibrating at different frequencies, which means your foods are vibrating at different frequencies, which means that the red apples are vibrating at 430 to 480 terahertz. Following me? So they're vibrating that much. That means the more red you eat, the easier it is. I mean, the more you're going to be able to heal your root chakra, which is that Gucci area, right? So like if you're having an issue with digestion, yes, fiber comes from green, which helps your heart, but you could also eat the orange and yellow fruit, vegetables and fruit to actually help with that area. If you're having a problem with communication, you can eat more blue fruits and vegetables. Yes, now let me read this. The chakras can be in alignment or out of alignment, depending on the condition of the individual's neurological, spinal, mental, and bioenergetic health. When I say spinal, I really mean like your actual spine, because if your spine is out of line or is broken or is, whatever, then the Kundalini energy that is located in your Gucci area, which is where the root chakra is not able to circumnavigate around the spine without going out of one of the chakras, because at one of those points, if you have a bad spine, then the actual Kundalini energy is not able to actually exit out. I'm sorry, it's not able to continue going to your third eye, which is really your first eye. It's going to stop at whatever chakra point is unbalanced and then exit out of that. So some people may be having digestion problems, but not knowing that it's not actually digestion problems. It could be something wrong with your back, and then the Kundalini energy is trying to go up, but then it exits out of your sacral or your solar plexus, and it's hurting that area because it's not supposed to do that. These points in your body can be healed using different forms of vibration, including but not limited to sound, reading, food, exercise, meditation, visual stimulation, your emotional state, art, etc. So now let's go down here to this picture in the bottom right. So these are different vibrational states that you can be in. Shame, guilt, apathy, grief, right? You always want to be vibrating higher than neutrality. Because being neutral is being neutral. That's just kind of, you're here, but you're not really here. You're just kind of there, not really doing much. Yes? You want to be above that. To be honest, you really want to be at love and above, which is 500. Right? You want to be in this purple, dark blue, indigo area. Yes? Violet area. You want to be up there. Yes, it's important to be up there because most people are probably, to be honest, below pride. I wouldn't even say that a lot of people are at courage because a lot of people don't have the courage to even like move from one location of the country to the other location of the country. You know what I mean? But if you're at love, then you don't have a reason to not move because you understand that love conquers all. Anyway, next slide. Sound health. Sound has a profound effect on the perception of the individual. I'm just gonna keep reading. Reality can be distorted and altered in the mind of the person listening to certain frequencies. He who controls the visual and audio stimulation of the people controls the people. I'm sorry if you can hear these cats, they always be fighting. If you are not controlling your own audio and visual stimulation, you are being possessed by something that is not you. It is imperative for all melanated beings to take back control of their perception, move from a Western perception back to an African perception. Oh, whoops, sorry. So, sound, family. Now remember that we said that light is a form of energy, which is a form of vibration, and sound is a form of vibration, which is a form of light, which is a form of energy, which means that your melanin is absorbing the sound, which means if you're listening to Freak Ho, you're absorbing that. Yeah, your melanin is literally absorbing that energy. And the more you absorb that energy, the more that you're going to stay on that vibration. And if the words are saying freak ho, well, dude, you're going to act and become a freak ho more than someone who has less melanin because your melanin is absorbing it so much, which is the reason why you always see, if you're in a club, it's mostly black people who are distressed or who are doing things to that type of music because your melanin is literally absorbing that frequency, right? And so this is why it's important to listen to more things like opera or more R&B or more meditating music or just listen to straight frequencies, meaning like a 528 hertz frequency, like that's better than listening to Freako. Yes. So next slide. Sound health. So these actual sounds help with the following. So 337 hertz helps blood circulation. 537 hertz adjusts the endocrine system, growth, development, sexuality, metabolism, hormonal balance related to metabolism. 625 hertz is a renal function. 635 hertz is pituitary gland. 654 is pancreas. 662 is pineal gland. 696 is the heart. 751 is the liver. 763 is the thyroid. 764 is the nervous system. 835 is the immune system. 760, oh, well, I said that already. 1,335 hertz is adrenaline, which means that it's going to help you, it's going to induce a chemical reaction in your body to where the adrenaline is going to start being pumped, right? I'm sorry, I said that backwards. It's not going to start being pumped. It's going to slow down the adrenaline, right? So like, if you're stressed out, the 1,335 hertz is going to help you become unstressed. Now, the other ones can help you become unstressed as well, but this one's specifically for that. So 1,565 hertz is spiritual healing. Now, the frequency of 528 hertz has miraculous capacities to heal all universe. It has restorative power of DNA. 396 hertz is free from fear. 741 hertz, increase awareness and awakening. 582 hertz to connect with our soul. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration from Nikola. This is by Nikola Tesla. Now, granted, he's white, and we know that black people made everything. But it was stolen from us and swindled from us. But anyway, he's saying this. They're telling you this information. This is not something that I'm making up. I keep saying this because I want you guys to really understand that I'm not making this up. This is proof that this is real. This is like really real. Like really, really, really real. Next slide. So I have now BSI. The BSI is a British Standards Institution. The BSI changed the standard of music from 432 hertz to 440 hertz. The 440 hertz is literally known as the devil's interval. So like Michael Jackson's music was at 432 hertz. This Lil Yachty and whatever new people are at 440 hertz, which is why it sounds demonic. It's literally called the devil's interval. Yes. Now this is from Science Direct, right? Effects of different musical frequencies of NPY and ghrelin secretions in the rat hypothalamus. So this is telling you that different musical frequencies have a effect on your brain. This is them telling you that they know this information already, right? Let me skim through this so I don't have to read all of it because not all of it is necessary. The aim of the study was to evaluate in the rat. I'm in the middle. The aim of this study was to evaluate in the rat the effects of different musical frequencies, 432 and 440 hertz on the GHRE and the MPY expression, and the hypothalamic neurons through immunohistochemistry. In addition, we investigated on the different production of GHRE in the serum through Western blot assay WB in relation to the body weight of animals. GHRE immunopositive cells were counted, showing a significant increase in music treated compared to the control group. Similarly, music treated rats showed increased levels of GHRE in the serum compared to the CTR animals. Finally, and this is the important part, the body weight of animals were affected by music. You hear that? The body weight of the animals was affected by the music. In particular, music exposure was able to stimulate the body weight increase, and interestingly, the increase was higher when animals were exposed to 440 hertz, which means that 440 hertz is bad for you, and we know this. They know this. They tested it out. They're testing this stuff out. It's not like they don't know. They're testing it out. Together, the results strongly support the hypothesis that different musical frequencies could affect food intake by modulating the hypothalamic GHR expression and its... I can't see what that word is because it's blocking. But they know that that changing it to 440 hertz is affecting your brain because the hypothalamus gland is located in your brain. So it's telling you that they know it's going to affect you, but they still did it anyway. Why? Because they want you to be under light code lockdown. They don't want you to wake up because they understand that this age of Aquarius is happening and we're going to start to wake up, which is why all these vaccines and all this changing has been happening so much more frequently because they know what's up. Their time is up. Right? And so they want to keep as many of us in the 3D as possible and not ascend to the 5D because we're going to 5D. So, next slide. Zodiac Diet Part 1. Okay, this is a longer slide, so let me take a break. I got to get some water. Give me a second. Okay, and we're back. And we're back. So, the Zodiac Diet, Part 1. Okay. The Zodiac is more important than what the media and what most of these websites are telling you. The Zodiac is literally probably the most intricate, most profound part of science, of esoteric science that there is, right? So the time of day, the day of the week, the month, your natal chart, your chakras, and the galactic sign that is governing the planet in a particular point in the galactic cycle all have an effect on your health, right? Meaning during the day, like at 8 a.m., your body is responding to the light differently than it's responding it to 12 p.m. because it's more light at 12 p.m., right? The different month. So like if we're in December, your body there's less light. Well, it depends on which hemisphere you're in, but in northern hemisphere, there's less light during that time, and so your body is going to react differently during that time than it will during the summer month because there's more sunlight. Your natal chart is important because it tells you under which spectrum of light your body was born under and which houses of light are governing different aspects of you, right? And then where we are in the galaxy is also important because in each zodiac sign inside of the galaxy, there are different, I guess, frequencies of light in those. I don't want to say frequency. I want to say amounts. There are different amounts of light in each different zodiac sign. So, like in Aquarius, there's more light in that than there would be in Scorpio, and I'm gonna get into that in a second. Right. So next slide. The Zodiac Diet, Part 2. What is Zodiac? The intricate workings of the cosmos that affect you biologically, neurologically, psychologically, physiologically, emotionally, and almost every that you could think of. The Zodiac is the macrocosm of the microcosm of Earth. Or of everything, to be honest. Or at least everything that's smaller than the galaxy. The Zodiac is one of the cosmological esoteric sciences that we all need to take very seriously because we are all born under a different star system. Or a different yeah, I guess that's the best way of saying it. Different star system. No one's natal chart is the same, just like no one's fingerprint is the same. There are many star constellations in the universe, but only 12 of them have an effect on the planet. As above, so below. Right, I kind of just said this already in the last slide, like everything in here in the last slide. But it's just important for you to really understand that knowledge. Okay, next slide. Part 3. Zodiac Diet Part 3. This is, coincidentally, it was random. I was actually just looking for a picture of a natal chart for their slide, and then I just happened to click on this, and it's coronavirus. So this is January 25th of 2020 in Wuhan, China. This is literally the natal chart of fucking coronavirus. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? So if you want to do more research, here it is. Right? So your natal chart is you. Your natal chart tells you who you... Oh, and by the way, don't think that the people who put this out don't know when to put it out because they have a understanding of the zodiac, meaning they know that the planets are going to be aligned so in different ways on different days, which has an effect on what is born on that day, right? I heard a quote that said, millionaires don't pay attention to astrology, but billionaires do. Yeah, millionaires don't pay attention to astrology, but billionaires do because billionaires are more into control and power. No, I don't want to say all of them, but the ones who are, they are, right? And so it's important to really know that because they know that that they know the signs. They know that this is that important to really understand or to understand. So your natal chart is you. Your natal chart tells you who you are, why you incarnated into this physical vessel, what jobs work well with you, what types of people mesh well with you, your temperament, how you communicate, how you love, and so much more. You can find out your natal chart by knowing your full name, time of day you were born, and the date you were born, and also the location of birth. I didn't put that in there. You need to know where you were born. There are many websites online that you can Google and tell you what your natal chart is. All you have to do is just Google it. Like, just Google my natal chart or how to find my natal chart or natal chart, something like that. It's really easy. It's not like hard to do. All you got to do is Google it. And it'll probably be like one of the first 5. You know what I mean? Real easy. But it is important to know all of the pieces of information, your full name, especially the time of day, because a lot of people know the date and where they were born in their full name. But a lot of people don't know the time of day they were born. The actual time is important because your ascending sign, which is right here. Do you see how it says AC right here? And do you see how it has the green symbol right here? If you were born at a different time, the red symbol right here, which is Sagittarius, could be could swap position with this sign. Or if you were born at a different time, the Cancer, which is the 69, what that looks like a 69, could have been over here. So it's really important to know the actual time, right? So next slide. Zodiac diet part 4. I got this from this for photograph. I got from Pharaoh, attend university. Go over there and subscribe to his university because he gives a lot of great information that you're not going to hear anywhere else. And he's also talking about science. Like everything he's saying is about science as well. I'm sorry, he's using science to back up his claims. And he also has a lot of information on the historical, the historical knowledge of the African people, the real knowledge about the African people, which is not the purpose of this university. Right, so I don't talk about that. But if you go over to his university, he has a lot of that. He just how it goes, all that stuff. Shout out to him. So, shout out to the guy. So now, Zodiac Diet Part 4. This is a photograph of a sound wave. The beginning images of a sound wave. Now, as you can see, in this little section down here, there's no waves, right? But then as you go up, so like right here, it gets more and more and more and more and more and more until you get down here where's the max. And then when you go over here, there's no more. And then over here is more, then there's more, then it goes down again, right? And coincidentally, this is what coincides with the zodiac. Because remember, light is sound, which is energy, which is vibration. So are you following what I'm saying? Like all this is intertwined. Everything is everything and everything is nothing at the same time. This is so crazy. But so you probably heard how we are entering the Aquarius age, which is up here, right? Right? So if you look how it's formed on the circle, the Aquarius is like up here on the upper left-hand corner. But if you look on this sound wave, the upper left-hand corner is where the sound is starting. Like that's where the energy is actually starting to form, right? Or starting to gain momentum, starting to gain energy, right? Which coincides with awakening. It's awakening. The energy is coming back. The Aquarius is coming back. That's why people are saying it's awakening, because the energy is literally coming back. The sound is coming back. The light is coming back. Literally is coming back. And then it's going to get... all it's doing is going to increase and increase and increase, which means that on this planet it's going to get hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter over the course of the next 10,000-20,000 years. It's going to get really hot on this planet. Now melanated beings are going to be okay because we can withstand the heat, because our bodies absorb the sunlight. Our bodies are good. But everything that is not of this earth is going to die off. And that just is what it is. Right? That just is what it is. And so, there's another point I wanted to say. So over here, right? at the bottom right hand corner, that's where there's the most power. If you look over, if you look over here, that's where Leo is. And if you know anything about Leo, they are the fire sign. They are like out there. They are the ones who are always in your face because they have the most energy. They were born under the sign that has the most energy. And that's just what it is. That's why they're like that, right? Leo is the sign of the sun, right? The sun, the energy, the light, the sound. You get it? And so, like, when the Egyptians built the Sphinx, it's a lion, Leo, lion, the body of a lion with the head of a black woman, right? And so, like, that is what it is. So they built it under the sign of Leo. They built the Sphinx under the sign of Leo because they had a really great understanding of what I'm telling you right now. They knew this. Not only did they know it, they knew it for over 60. Well, I won't say that long. They knew it for tens of thousands of years, and so they were able to go through at least 2 cycles of this, and really harness the power of each sign because they knew this. Each sign has 2,160 years, if I'm not mistaken. It might be 2,180, but it's 2,100 something years that it takes for our solar system to go through one sign. In order for us to go through 1 degree of the sign, it takes 72 years. Now remember, a circle has 360 degrees. So in order for us to go from Capricorn all the way back around to Capricorn, it's 360 degrees. And the amount of time it takes to do that is 28,000 something years. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's 28,000 something years, right? And so for the past 6,000 years, right, Capricorn, Sagittarius, and Scorpio, right, which is around 6,000 years, right? That's the dark ages. That's when the energy has literally been the least amount that they could be, meaning black people were at their weakest point. Because remember, our bodies absorb the sun, absorb the energy, absorb the light, absorb the vibration. So if there's no vibration in these star systems right here, there's no vibration on this side of the wheel. Well, then that just is what it is. That means we don't have as much. But as we keep going in Aquarius and going over, we're going to get more and more energy, more and more energy. So with that being said, I went off a tangent. So with that being said, remember how I said in the beginning, that the time of day and the day of the week and the month, all that stuff is important? Well, Leo is the brightest star constellation. And these numbers are approximate numbers because it really varies depending on where you are on the planet and like the hemisphere and the latitude and longitude lines. It has a lot of variation, but these are approximate. Leo is between 1 to 3, Virgo is between 3 to 5, Libra is 5 to 7, Scorpio 7 to 9, Sagittarius is 9 to 11, Capricorn is 11 to 1 a.m., Aquarius is 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. And it just so happens that Aquarius is from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. And this is when toxins are released, and like physically, that's what your body is doing. The liver is releasing toxins, and fresh blood is made into the body, right? And it just so happens that during this time is the age of awakening, when the light is coming back. Get it? The stuff that we've been through is being released and is now coming to the surface, and now we're waking up. Get it? Do you see? Are you following the connection? Pisces is from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. Aries is the sunrise from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. Taurus is 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Gemini is 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Cancer is 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Each sign has approximately 2 hours each in the time of the day. Now, this is important because I didn't actually put the picture in here. I should have. Damn, that's my fault. But there's a graph or a pictogram or a picture that describes that your body's organs are doing different things during different times of the day. It's called the circadian rhythm. Your body responds to the amount of light in the atmosphere. This means that when the sun is just coming up, you want to take a shit. When the sun is at its peak, you probably want to eat. When the sun is going down, you don't really, your body's not asking you to eat, but if you're putting food in your body's going to have an adverse effect. Your body is actually not going to digest that food. So that's why it's important to know the signs, family. Next slide. Now, I'm going to go through each, and this is why I said it's long. We're going to go through each sign and talk about the numbers, the colors associated with them, the cell salt, the symbol, the ruling planet, and the parts of the body that are ruled, some herbs, flowers, some trees, stress, etc., etc. Now, we're going to read all this, fam. So it's going to take quite a while. So if you need to, skip to your sign, and we'll jump right in. So now we're in Aries. And by the way, I got this information from Dr. Layla Africa. Dr. Layla Africa is one of the most prominent black, or one of the most prominent African naturopaths, doctors, herbalists, whatever you want to call them, that's been healing the black community over the course of his whole life, basically. He's up there with Dr. Sebi. A lot of people don't know who Dr. Layla Africa is because he wasn't in the news like that. Dr. Sebi is more current and more in the news, right? But Dr. Layla Africa is up there with him, right? So take all this stuff seriously. So Aries is masculine, element is fire, and is a cardinal sign. Aries tend to get into situations that can be dangerous, unhealthy, and violently dangerous. They like diversity, new healing modalities. They're emotionally impulsive, energetic, active, and optimistic. If you know any Aries, you know that this is pretty much true. If you have an Aries in your chart, then in that section of your life, or wherever the Aries is, you tend to act like this, right? So your ruling planet is Mars, associated with extrovert behavior, accidents, aggression, tensions, and conflict. It rules over danger. The symbol is the ram, acquires mobility around obstacles, assertive and emotionally passionate. Glyph, written symbol, right, is a pictograph, is a symbol of the horns and long nose of the ram. Right, the symbolic picture of protection, eyebrow of the sense, nose, or the feeling rules the head. The symbolic glyph is two halves moon joined by a straight line, which can indicate bonded to the emotions and idealism. Sorry. Part of the body rule, this is important because this is the Natal SEKHMET University, where we want you to understand the inner workings of science and healing, because it's all one. Everything is one. We need to understand that. We need to understand that. The head, brain, or the face, head, brain, and face, pituitary. Illness such as headaches, skin eruptions, problems with ears, nose, and or accidents, injuries occur around the head and face. So if you're Aries sun sign, it's imperative for you to really take care of that part of your body from the neck up, right? Because you are more prone to injuries in that area. Herbs that help you guys: basil, catnip, nettle, wormwood, geranium, and chervil. And we will, in a different lecture called Herbal Alchemy, we're going to explain more in depth on why those herbs are great for each sign. Yes. Flowers: honeysuckle, sweet pea, tulip, calceolera, geranium, daisy. Trees: all thorn-bearing trees. Stress usually caused by impatience and frustration with self or relationship or others or events or situations. Now, if you know Aries, you know that they be pretty impatient. That's kind of what it is. Unless they're more mature Aries, and they get a little better with it, but they're still pretty, impatient. Stress reaction: emotionally, uncontrollably, explosive outbursts, inflammations, headaches, migraines, stomach acidity. Dominant keyword: I am. Polarity: Libra. Aries is a me first sign. Aries, and now remember, Aries is the sunrise, so it's a me first. I'm rising first. I'm the one up first. You follow me? And it's also the youngest of the fire signs. And fire signs, we already know, are outward, and they're the youngest, so they're probably going to be the me first, right? Aries tendencies project their own personalities and can be selfish. Libra, Aries opposite sign, is a sign of partnership. Natives of Libra feel incomplete without a relationship or a partner or lover. They seek relationship happiness. your day, Aries day is Tuesday, and the reason why it's Tuesday is because the planet that rules you guys is Mars, right? And Mars emits a gas every Tuesday, right? And I remember Mars is rules Aries, and the chemical composition of the actual gas particles that come trickling down into our atmosphere that we breathe in is more going to have you be in a state of Aries, which means that you're going to be a little more aggressive, a little more impatient, a little more all that stuff on Tuesdays, right? So you guys' numbers is 1 and 9. Your birthstone is a diamond. Can be a symbol of emotions, love, financial success, and luck in new ventures. The diamond is particularly lucky for Aries people when worn on the left side of the body. Color is red, color of fire and creating excitement. Your metal is iron. Your cell salt is caliphosphate. Fragrance is basil. Your ethic as well. Your musical instrument is drum. Now, that was basically a rundown of Aries. Next slide. Taurus. Taurus is next. Taurus is feminine. Element is earth. Oh, wait. The Taurus is from April 20th to May 20th. And all these are like approximate dates because it kind of changes depending on what collective cycle you're in because everything is always in constant motion. But anyway, duality is feminine. Element is earth. Quality is fixed. Taurus tends to be persistent, unyielding, and maintaining goals and emotions. Practical, stable, resistant to change of treatments, patient, quiet, and affectionate. Yes. Ruling planet is Venus. They get into chaotic and violent situations associated with emotions, creativity, arts, pleasure, and luxury. Symbol is this, the bull, gentle, unreasonably stubborn, pragmatic, emotionally strong, and fierce. Glyph, the written symbol. This symbol is the horns and head of the bull. The symbolic glyph is a half moon forming a cup that rests on the circle of the sun. The cup represents the ability to receive and store emotions, ideas, wealth, and power. The circle indicates a continuous line and use of energy. Parts of the body rule: the thyroid, the neck, the base of the skull, and throat. Taurus tends to have good voice and speech. They are susceptible problems. They have susceptible problems in the neck, throat, thyroid, laryngitis, and skin problems of the neck. Now these you guys are herbs: thyme, elderberry, primrose, marshmallow, catnip, rose, saffron, tansy, wormwood, yarrow, and mint. And like I said, in herbal alchemy, we will discuss why each one of these is for each sign. Flowers: iris, poppy, lily of the valley, hydrangea, and violet. Trees: apples and cypress. Stress: caused by the lost good feeling, deviating or gaining negative feeling, which is different from the original feeling, mood, situation, event, and or relationship. Sudden or planned changes in social life. Economic: divorce, death, or conversation. Stress reaction: skin problems, neck pain, depression, sadness, anger, loss of esteem. Diet becomes unstable. Dominant keyword: I have. Polarity: Scorpio. Taurus is a sign of property and money. They tend to hoard and cling. I think he meant to say two. They tend to hoard and cling to possessions. Scorpio, Taurus's opposite sign, is a sign of legacies and shared wealth. They nurture others spiritually and give to others in the form of writing, the healing, arts, and teaching. Their day is Friday, right? And Venus is Friday. Now, it's no coincidence that you want to go to the club on Friday because Venus is the planet of love. No coincidence you want to go out in the club on Friday. You following? Okay. So, numbers are 6 and 4. Birthstone is emerald. Protects against infidelity, deceit, ensures loyalty, and improves memory. Colors: pale blue and mauve. The soft colors are refinement and gentleness. Your metal is copper. Your sulfur is sulfur. Fragrance is rose. Your ethic is creative. Your music instrument is harp/guitar. Yes? Now that's Taurus. Next slide. Gemini. A lot of people don't like Geminis, but they're actually pretty cool people. You just have to understand that they're pretty cool people. Gemini is from May 21st to June 20th. Duality. Masculine. Element is air. Quality is mutable. Gemini is lively, energetic, versatile, and intellectual. They're usually thinkers and ignore emotions and adaptable to new treatments. Their bipolar nature arouses unexpected anger in others. They tend to misjudge the emotional feelings of others. Ruling planet, Mercury, which is a planet of communication, the brain, the nervous temperament, talking, and travel. Symbol is that. The twins. Positive and negative bipolar flexibility and communication.